So I tend to overthink a lot. I don't know. I'm a stickler for wanting to know things all the time. And after 25 years of living, I need to come around to the fact that you just can't know everything. You just can't. And, you know, it's not going to stop me from trying to know the reasons of why exactly I feel the way that I do, and what's going on as quickly as possible. But some things, they take time. Sorry it's been more than a week, but I've just kind of been a little busy. Things have been kind of a little hectic. Yesterday, instead of being social, I was Tumblring as I do, and I got asked a lot of similar questions, and it was all talking about, how do I know I'm in love? Or how do I know I want to be with this person? Or what do I want? And it's, wow, let me tell you, that's a great question, because coming from someone who has continuously mistaken pain for love, yeah. Yeah, love is it's a very complicated and tricky emotion or state of being or definition, whatever you want to call it. Don't mistake pain for love. God, don't do it. Just don't do it. It is not going to end well for you. And it's not. And like, people have this hyper sense of love is supposed to be this sacrificing notion, and that's not it at all. And yeah, relationships, sometimes they do require some sacrifice that, can be upsetting, and things like that, but pain is not a prerequisite to love. It's really funny because our our parents or our grandparents or their parents, their relationships were so different back in the day, and now we see everything that our partner does every hour of every day because of social media. You see them on Snapchat, on Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter, Vine, I don't even know, YouTube. And you know who they're with, what they're doing all the time. But we have come to this point where if they don't text us back, or if they don't message us back, or they don't call us back, they hate us, or they don't want us, or what else are they doing? Well, we already know. We know what they're eating, who they're with, what they're doing, where they're at. We know everything. And and our parents or their parents' parents, like, once they were together, they were together, but once they were apart, they were apart, and they got to experience things that they love to do, and the other person has experience they love to do, and when they got together, that time was appreciated, and they got to share things, and it was great. And I will tell you, love it's gonna put you through a ringer. It really is. And I think it's really awesome that people are asking themselves that question, because you know what? I have kind of been getting ahead of myself lately, and in the way that I love people or some person that's very important to me. And I don't know, I used to think that love was definitive. I used to think that love was one way. I used to think that love was commitment, and it was loyalty, and it was catering to someone's need and wants, and no matter what, thick and thin, but it's not. It's not at all. And I think that's a problem for this generation. Now we say things like, she's mine, I'm yours. It's a possession thing. We look at these people that we're supposed to love, and we treat them as if they're inanimate objects to be owned. No person is to be owned. And I don't know, that got a little off track, I guess, by the the main question here is, how do you know if you're in love? Alyssa, do you want to answer the question that you started out in the beginning of this? Sure, why not? I'll give it a whirl. Number one, I think it's really cool that you want to ask yourself that and want to know, how do I know if I'm in love? But number two, don't try to answer that because you're obviously uncertain. Uncertainty is just, it's real rad sometimes because you got time. You got time to kind of search and sift through your feelings, you know. How do you know you're in love? I don't know. To know if you love somebody, and it's okay to not know if you do, and we shouldn't rush. Like I'm a stickler for, I need to know how I'm feeling and why I'm feeling that way and like the quickest way possible, and you know, that's not healthy. And personally, I need to start taking the time to really evaluate how I feel about certain things, and it's okay that it takes time. It's okay that I don't know yet. I don't think that love can be quantified. I don't think it's like this rigorous test of this is when you know you're in love. But what I do know, what I've been trying to learn a little bit, I've kind of lost track of that lately, but what I'm trying to wrap my head around again is patience. You know, it's okay to not know if you're in love, and you know, especially if you're in like talks with somebody or dating somebody, you know, the most important thing is just communicating how you feel, to let them know where you stand and to let them, or to let you know where they stand. That is so important. And love is going to feel differently with anything, with every person that you love, with every dog that you love, every tree outside that you love. It doesn't matter. It's always going to be different to you. Like if you do something now and then years down the line that you love, and years down the line you do it the same exact thing, you're not going to feel the same about it. You're going to have a whole different experience, well, not experience, but you're going to have a whole different love towards it. And one thing I want to do in my life or work on is just to strip away any assumptions that I have about love, and to just kind of erase any pre-written narratives of this is how I'm going to be, this is where I'm going to be at, this is the person I'm going to become, and this is how I'm going to feel towards the end of it. Because that's pretty arrogant, and I'm definitely guilty of that to this day. I'm very guilty of that, trying to come up with or foretell how I'm going to feel for something that hasn't yet happened. And society can be arrogant sometimes, and I am part of that society. So like I've said in my first video, I'm not a perfect person, but I'm trying to get better. I think that when you love something, you know. When you love someone, you know. And you know, if you don't, that's okay. It doesn't mean that you never will, or that you can't, or something's wrong with you. It just means you have time to figure it out. And there's really nothing wrong with that. Something definitive about love is that it's not like the movies. It's not like the books. That's very easily digested by humankind, but it's not like that. I think like most things, you know, we'll find our own way and we'll figure it out. And that's okay. That's okay. We're just taking our time, living and learning and all that stuff, you know? You know, dating is a wild, fun water slide of a time. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I can't really answer your question. But I can just say, take the time, figure it out, and just keep asking yourself. And the day you don't have to ask yourself, I think you'll just know. But yeah, so that's about all I have to say on that. But thanks for listening, and I don't know, I'll let you know if I think of anything else. And if you have anything else to say, let me know, guys. Bye.